Welcome to the Sports Arena, your front row ticket to the best in sports talk and entertainment. Great analysis, top name guests, and news you can use from the sports landscape. So take your seats, sit back, and relax, as you are now in the Sports Arena.
You know what you're capable of. Fix it.
And here's your host, Eric Wilson.
Wins. I'm like, all right, let's go. We get losses. I'm like, I need a minute. Let me collect myself. What's going on, everybody? Your man, Eric Wilson, here for the Sports Arena. And as always, whenever I get the opportunity to interview this man, it is such an honor and a pleasure. As always, I mean, he is doing great things in the world of sports. He is a trilingual general manager and head coach of the WNBA Chicago Sky. James Wade is back in the building. James, man, so much. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it.
How you doing, Eric, man? It's always a pleasure to be on.
I appreciate your time. I know you're a busy man, but I got to talk to you. I got to catch up with you. You know, had some time off, got to spend some time with the family, but I know you're back in the lab working with the team. And I just want to take a moment, first and foremost, to say congratulations. Happy belated birthday to you.
Thank you.
I did see the game yesterday. That was a thriller, the overtime with the Seattle Storm. If you can, really quick, just talk to me about that game yesterday specifically and what that meant for you to get that kind of victory against a top-tier team.
I mean, it's all about, we hadn't played, and so you just wonder where you are, rhythm, conditioning-wise. And so you get all those things, and then you prepare for a team that, you prepare for a team and you say, hey, we're going to put all our focus on these few players. And so you get the, everything that doesn't go your way from the beginning. They say the players that you're focused on, some of those players not going to be there. They've already played a game and we haven't played. The game goes into overtime. So you're worried about your conditioning. Everything that could go wrong goes wrong. But fortunately, we were tested throughout the game, and we were able to keep our heads down and our head up, and not put our heads down, and just keep on pushing through. We're down 6 with like a minute to go. Allie hit 2 big threes. Whatever we thought, bad calls, good calls, or whatever, didn't pay attention to that. We just stayed within ourselves, and we just kept pushing.
Glad you brought Allie up because she. I had the opportunity to be at the All-Star game in Vegas, and I will say this, watching her in that 3-point contest was truly a thing of beauty. You have a lot of All-Stars and leaders on your team. I mean, of course, bringing in Candace Parker from the LA Sparks. You've got the head of the snake that is Courtney Vandersloot, the defending 3-point champion in Allie Quigley. You have an up-and-coming first-time All-Star in Kalia Copper. With all that talent around you, Coach, how do you keep everybody focused and prepared to be not in the past and focus on what has happened and not in the future looking forward, but truly staying in the moment?
It's a challenge because you know that everybody's motivated to be their better selves. And, everybody has goals and individual goals and, things that they want to accomplish. But what you try to get them to do is focus on the common goal, winning at the ultimate, the ultimate prize, winning a championship. So you try to remind them that it's going to be a steady dose of sacrifice and things not going to always go your way. Although some things might be good for you, it might not be good for the group.
Right. And
that's just something you have to always reinforce and have to always get them to keep in their mind. And, trying to keep as many players happy, talented players as happy as you can. It's tough. That's the one thing I can say about our roster. If he wasn't on our WNBA roster, they would be on a roster.
Oh, of course.
And you can't say that about all the teams. We try, man. We try to, mesh it and get them to, focus on the common goals and the objective of playing until October. And that's what we're trying to do. So that's a constant push,
And you're seeing that. I mean, from your coaching style with this group of athletes, and just, you see it on the court. I know you talk a lot about resiliency and you talk about always keeping your head up. And so I just actually see that as these games progress. Now, you are in the second half of the season, but I do want to take a small step back for a moment, because before the All-Star break, before the Olympics, you actually were named Coach of the Year back in June. And this was a high honor because the team did not start off as well as you would like them to. So in that moment, and I've watched that video when Sloot is in the locker room and she is reading off the list of accomplishments that the Chicago Sky had for the month of June. Can you just take me through what that moment was like for you to be recognized by the athletes that are listening to you, and they are drinking the James Wade Kool-Aid? What that meant for you in that moment?
It was a great moment, probably one of the greatest moments that I've had, like, with the team. We've had our fair share of great intimate moments with each other where hearts are filled off of each other's joy and stuff like that. But I think it was tough because 7-loss streak, and we came together here at home, and we had a dinner. We talked, and I talked a lot. They listened, they talked, and I listened, and it was just a moment where we recommitted to each other, and then like normally in those moments, like, teams could, you see sometimes teams come together and they go up, but a lot of times you see teams spiral and they go down, and we want to make sure that we put all the cards on the table and we say, okay, this is what's going on. For those 7 games, Allie, Candace, and Steph weren't there. Like, they were not there.
Right.
Candace wasn't there for none of them. Allie and Steph was there for the last game, the loss in LA, and they were coming off, like, Steph was coming off a road trip from overseas. Allie was coming off an injury. And so it was tough. You have 3 main pieces to your team that's not there, and it's hard to win games. And so it makes you doubt a little bit. But, we know, not making excuses, what it was. And so once we got everybody and we meshed them and we kept preaching the same things that we've been preaching, we kept the same practice habits. We were just a complete team. And so we ran off some games in a row. We ran off some games and we played to more like our style because, we brought Candace in there to be, a key piece for us. And so having her in the lineup changed a lot. Having Allie in the lineup changed a lot. Steph as well. And I had no idea we had broken a lot of those records for a month. And so, honestly, that was the furthest thing from my mind, because I remember at the beginning of June, the first week of June, I'm like, we just can't keep doing this. Like, right. This is, like, I don't know what's going on, but we have to change something. And but I had to make sure, and the players were very mature about it, that we stayed together. We stuck together. And the losses did not define who we were. And so getting that, gift from Sloot and the rest of the players that our coaching staff was just named Coach of the Month was really, like, really, really special, because we knew how hard it was after losing that 7th game. Knew how hard it was after losing the 6th, the way we lost the 6th game in Phoenix.
Yeah.
That was a heartbreaker. I didn't know what to feel in that game, and actually, turning the thing around, and we get in New York, and then we get to Dallas, and we're like, wow, I can't believe everything that we're doing. I can't believe it, but just having that 180-degree turn was tough.
I was moved by the fact that you were recognized for your accomplishments, because outside of covering this team, let's be very clear, I'm a James Wade fan. I'm a Chicago Sky fan. Okay. So speaking of one of your players, and we mentioned her earlier, Stefanie Dolson.
Mm-hmm.
Coach, can you just speak to the evolution of this young woman? Because from what I saw in the bubble in 2020 to what I am seeing today, mm-hmm. as a member of the Chicago Sky, I think if there was any one person, in my opinion, who I feel has truly invested in her mental and physical well-being, it is Stefanie Dolson. But I'd like to hear it from your point of view as her coach. What has Stefanie Dolson done?
Stephanie and I talked, and I think the one thing that put her behind the 8 ball, she battled with the COVID-19 coming into the season. She was hurt. She was also injured coming in the last season. So she was behind the 8 ball. And so it was hard for her to catch up, seeing as we had so many games, not a lot of practice time, not a lot of rest time last year in the bubble. So no practice time, no rest time. So she never really got an opportunity to recover. So it was about her playing catch up, her never being at 100%. And so when we got into the off season, it's something that we talked about, and she assured, me for her sake, for her teammates' sake, that she was going to come back more motivated. Got a coach in the off season, player development coach that helped her get in shape, followed her through, and he wasn't just a yes person for her. He was someone that was going to push her and make sure that she was ready to come play. And she's a person that she's professional. She wanted to meet him halfway and say, hey, look, I'm going to be accountable for myself. Got in great shape. And then the fact that she had 3-on-3 that she participated in, and they, were leaning on her. And so she had to be even more focused. So her off season was shorter because she really had to get in shape for that. So she was in focus mode earlier in the season and paying attention to her body, getting in shape and doing all these things and getting healthy, doing all these things to, not only be right for us, but to be right for the U.S. national team too. And so that, a motivated Steph is always a good Steph. And, she was motivated, and it's just carrying over for the WNBA season.
And I mean, you can truly see it just by not only her presence on the court, but her keeping that energy and that spark going for this team. Coach, I got one last question. And listen, you're a family man, and I love seeing you on IG and on Twitter. But I know during the Olympics, you had some time off and you spent time with your wife and your son. But I got to ask you, I follow you on IG, and I see now that Jet, although he plays soccer and I know he's on the skateboard, but he picked up the basketball.
Yeah, man.
And he got some skills. He got some hands right now. So, I mean, talk to me about Jet, and more importantly, as a father, when he decided that he wanted to start playing the game. Mm-hmm. What was that like for you, and what's going on with him? Because I know you've got another celebrity in the house now.
Oh my gosh, yeah, man. He's more, famous than me right now. My wife. He's we actually started him playing basketball at doing stuff when he was like a little bit older than 1. And I have like family videos of him doing stuff, and it's like really awesome to see him 1 years old. And so we put him in this little like thing at 2 where it was like for mini baskets. It was for 4-year-olds, and we knew the coach, so she let him participate, and he was okay. He was okay, and he was 3. And then all of a sudden, when the pandemic hit, he stopped playing basketball to play soccer, because a lot of stuff they weren't doing indoors. So they continued to play soccer outdoors. So because basketball they stopped, and so he played it for a year and a half or whatever, and didn't play basketball at all. So now recently, because we were here and he's around basketball, and in the off season, I talked to Allie, and Allie Quigley, she told me, I was like, yeah, he's not playing basketball anymore. And Allie was like, well, as soon as he come here, he's going to be playing basketball again. Believe it. Like, we're going to have him playing basketball again. And so he gets around, gets in the gym, and now it's camps that he goes to, and it's like he never stopped. Wow. And the stuff that he does on the court is like, I don't want to say it because it's my son, but being a coach, just looking like the in and out crosses and all this stuff that he does, the step backs at 5 years old, I'm like, okay, this is he's a big kid for his age. I don't know why that either, but I think he's going to be an athlete. But we're just excited. But the most important thing that's really great about him is that he's so happy. Like, he's so happy. His mom is doing a great job because he's just the happiest kid that you can imagine. And so that's I mean, I show the stuff on Instagram and on the social media platforms and stuff that he does basketball, skateboard, and whatever. But the reason I show him because he's so happy. And people always like write me in my DMs. They're like, keep showing Jet because we love how happy he is. And so I'm like, wow, this dude is making the world better. So I'm gonna keep showing it. And so like that's the thing. And I got a lot of time to spend with him in the last 3 weeks, and it's just been awesome. Just see him grow. And now that the one thing they don't teach you about is like when the kids get older and they start to communicate with you different, the relationship changes with you. And so I've gotten a chance to watch our relationship grow because the way we can communicate now, and him having opinions and him thinking a little bit more reasonable than just saying mine, gimme, or something like that. Like us having really like conversations and me teaching him, you know, how to act and say, hey, this is correct. You always say thank you. You know, you say yes, not yeah. You know, so like those things are really good. And him taking it all in and just being a good kid. And and so I would like to take credit for a lot of that stuff, but his mom is doing a great job.
Yeah, but I mean, he's got, in my opinion, one of the best role models out there in you, sir. So I listen, we always give flowers to our queens, but I'm just saying you got to take some of that credit.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. I try. I gotta do my part, but I love the fact that we've been able to be close, and it's been great. It's been really great to be so close to him.
Awesome. Coach, I appreciate your time as always. Best of luck as you continue on the second half of this season. You know I'm watching. Yeah. I'm always going to be there supporting the team, but I thank you for your time. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, he is the general manager and head coach of the WNBA Chicago Sky, James Wade. Your man, Eric Wilson, for the Sports Arena. Hey, everyone have a blessed day, and we will definitely talk to y'all soon. See ya.